The first map here at Blast Pro Series, Navi will kick things off on the T side. You can see they've got 5 sets of armor and they're not slowing down whatsoever. Straight towards outside, and there's no one to spot them. So they've actually done a decent job so far. A bit of information gathered there, some damage exchange. You can see Simple goes down to 54, but they have got down cleanly.
That's a dangerous repeat for Fallen. He actually just kept taking that fight. I thought for sure he would want to fall back. That's a great headshot though from coldzera. He's going to get tagged in return. Stands up again. Another one to follow. And finally, Electronic will take him down. But that just might have been enough, Henry. That was a great defense. And now Fallen going to chime in to take down Zeus. So 2 on 4 here.
Not really much can be done at this point. Electronic with the bomb, however. He will get the plant down. No problem whatsoever. They have no utility to shut him down, and indeed not. It's actually going to be a denial from further, and just Flamey left, and he's going to get 1 consolation frag, but that is it. A very basic approach from Navi there. 5 sets of armor, all 5 players outside towards Secret, spotted, and then had no backup plan. You can't really fall back out of that. You have no utility to get out of that position. Everyone knows you're going towards lower, and at that point, it's MIBR picking up the pistol on the CT side of Nuke as well. A very important round for them in a best of 1.
I mean, normally, if you just recap that round in simple sentences, you'd say, okay, they went for the B-bomb side, they got to the B-bomb side, and that's that's kind of what you want on the T side. But I actually feel like they were sort of let in there. MIBR just said, yeah, you can have that. We'll pick up a couple of people along the way, and then by the time you're there, you actually can't hold it any longer. So it doesn't really help you that much.
Well, for now, no force buy in the second round here. Navi going for AKs in the third. We can see Fur here, he's got, of course, the org in hand, looking to find multiple kills here. There's the first, as he removes Flamey from the equation. Looks like a very simple procedure here for the MIBR boys. Going to be a 2-0, no problem at all. You can see the Deagle of Edward just trying to steal away a kill if possible. Bomb is now down, but will continue. Oh, it's Phelps, I beg your pardon, getting the full kill there. Just Edward looking for anything he can. No armor, Deagle in hand. And certain death coming in soon. There it is. Phelps gets himself another $600. MP9 works out for him. And it's going to be 2-0 to MIBR. But like we said, Navi with the AKs right here, right now. This is where the game really begins.
Absolutely is. And again, just to remind you, last time they played on this map versus FaZe, their CT side was looking great for MIBR. This is really the T side that was lacking. So that's still, I'm going to hold my breath for that. I'm not going to celebrate too early. I think they need a lot of rounds, or they need to have changed that T approach a lot.
Well, this is going to be a very telling round. If MIBR can win this, they're setting themselves up for a fantastic CT side. If they lose it, they just need to make sure they get at least 3 or 4 kills. They'll be able to buy up next round regardless, and we'll see if they can hold off the team with just SMGs here, a scout and 1 org. You see a bit of aggression there towards the ramp from just trying to push them towards outside as Fur holds towards the garage right now. Electronic trying to use his incredible aim to find that first pick as they slow things right down.
He's keeping a little bit of eye on that yard, but he hasn't actually seen anyone. I mean, Fur playing really far back in the garage. Not always easy early on in the game like this, because they might have enough grenades to sort of check all of it. And just the fact that, I mean, if you're playing on that T side and you want to find the CT that's defending the yard and you can't for a long time, that in itself could be a little bit of an annoyance, because you know there's somebody out here eventually. You're just not sure where they are, and you end up spending a lot of time doing it. They finally put up that wall of smokes, and they're going to try and see if they can make their way down the stairs. Just under a minute now, and Electronic kind of leading the charge, while the other 2 seem to be on the ramp side. So it looks like they want to try and see if they can crunch their way towards that B side eventually.
Love this angle from Phelps. He might be able to steal a kill away here and get back in the vent, but there are 2 players on the other side, Zeus and Electronic. Coming through there, so he spots the shoulder of Phelps. He needs to get the hell out of there at this point. Changes position towards Squeaky Door, and this is where first position really comes into its own. Not the cleanest of kills, but given plenty of time to get it. 4 versus 4, but not for long. It's going to be Navi with the advantage here.
It's a good couple of kills in return, though. Fallen with a scout kill on Flamey, finally taking him down now. coldzera up close with the MP9. Oh, what a peek. I mean, he just called that. That was a bit of an off angle as well, and a great double headshot to end the round with. Navi going to come up really big in that one.
Well, there it is, using the advantage of the rifles there. Really perfect round from Navi. Knew what they were up against. They saw as a mixture of SMG scouts and that 1 org, so they slowed it right down, stick together, work those trades, and of course did a great job there. I love Simple's play towards the end as well. Just when you feel like he's out of position, he's got low health, he pulls that out the bag. Double headshot coming through out of the hub.
Do you think that's a call you make as a team in the beginning, or do you just know that when you're playing against those SMGs, they're probably going to be close range fights as opposed to long range?
You don't want to do anything fast there. You don't want to be running in through tight choke points. You want to run a classic default, work a pick, and then use trade potential there, because the CT is going to be pushed up, and it's not the sort of map you can get super aggressive on the CT side. So Navi did a great job there. But as we mentioned, even if MIBR lost that round, they still have rifles now. That's exactly the case. Certainly not ideal with the FAMASs in hand, but enough to win the round for sure. But Navi with a massive advantage here in round number 4.
Taco playing that that ramp position. He did a great job last time we saw him play here. It's very, very hard. I mean, it's such a key position, but also you're so isolated, and you know, one little mistake and actually that could be the whole defense. So I always have a little bit of sympathy for the ramp player.
It's one of the hardest positions to play in CS. There's so much pressure on that spot. If you go down with nothing, you've actually granted so much map control towards the T's. It's all about discipline. You need to know when to drop back, when to find kills, and very rarely you can. Now there's Phelps opening things up. Flamey will go down, and Fur is holding this tight angle. As soon as he spots him, drop the incendiary. He's buying time. He's trying to push them back towards upper, and that's exactly what's happened, at least for now. Electronic dissuaded from the secret steps. They'll maintain that 5 versus 4. coldzera on the hut as time ticks away.
Yeah. 40 seconds, I mean, it's not quite critical yet, but it will be soon. 3 on 5 as well for Navi. They've got so much yard control, but I don't think they can actually do much with it. Pretty good kill for Electronic. He's down to 29 himself, but same amount of time on the clock, more or less. And how do you convert this into a win? That's a pretty good shot, taking down Taco. And now they're starting to crunch onto the site. Simple making his way close with that AK-47. 18 seconds on the clock, and he's up on the hut looking down. If he gets this opening, that's all they need. Simple gonna pick up one, and now he's covering the hut in that with a Molotov as Edward takes down coldzera. Suddenly they turn it around. What a conversion.
That's so sick. From Edward especially, that shot underneath the ladder was pivotal. He absolutely rails the player waiting, and then Simple, just so aware of what could be on the other side of that bomb site. There gets himself on the hut, a prime position, and what I loved about that, he gets the kill. He's not knifing out, trying to get the bomb down. He's aware. Someone could push through the hut. He is looking at it, ready and waiting, and you thought they run out of time. They're 30 seconds, a 5 on 3, but they make it work. And now it goes 2-2, and full eco for MIBR.
Not the great position to be in right now for the Brazilian side. That last round, I mean, they had the man advantage. I don't actually think they had any clue about where the last 3 players were until Electronic got that first kill outside. Yeah. Then they were like, okay, well, one guy's there, but they just didn't know any other positions. Really big problem.
Really would have liked Fallen to play more defensively at that point with the time as low as it was. I feel like he felt like it was a foregone conclusion, perhaps, and just wanted to get a bit more information, work out where they are. He goes down, and that's going to be the catalyst for success as Navi claw back into the round, and they should take the lead at this point as well. 3-2 looking incredibly likely. MIBR not spending a single dollar in round number 5 here. USPs across the board, and another smart round from Navi. They're not overcommitting, they're not dropping all their utility straight away, getting information. One player just going to be leading the charge, that's Edward, as his teammates make their way towards Secret. It's been a very slow and methodical game from Navi so far, and they're not making any mistakes at all. Nice Molotovs to push back anyone that's waiting on the steps for a cheeky 1-dig there, and Zeus will go first. Confirm at least it's clear in the initial sectors.
You know, Henry, as a former pro player yourself,
Okay.
What are you doing around like this if you're on the CT side and you're just waiting? Are you...
So we're seeing a lot of teams these days go for a stack, normally towards a B site, but Nuke doesn't really allow you to do that. So you want to be going for something a little bit cheeky just to get a couple of kills away. Maybe get HE grenades towards outside or stack the upper bomb site. Honestly, with just USBs and nothing more, if you get a couple of kills, for me, that's a success in its own right. As Simple and Flamey go to town on the upper bomb site, just Taka remains. If he gets one here, that'd be something. Gets the dink on Simple, takes him down to 2 HP, but it's still not quite enough. And we have got the 3-2 coming forward. Navi bouncing right back after losing the pistol here, and that is not good news for MIBR. As you mentioned, their T side didn't look great the last time we saw it, but an adjustment here, 5 orgs. And I'm not sure how you feel about the whole org meta these days. I kind of embrace it. I feel like it kind of recreates classic CS almost with the angles you can hold. But what are your thoughts on the org right now?
I really like the kind of Counter-Strike that we're getting out of it. I think just as a person, Henry, I'm stuck around the year 2000, so it's generally hard for me to adopt to anything new that goes on. But I like it. I mean, I think it's exciting. Definitely a lot of crazy kills that we're seeing out of it.
Oh, that's a crazy kill right there. You wanted one? You've been delivered a lovely crater from Edward there, courtesy of Fur. Does a bit of damage and slows him down on the jump.
That's terrible. You never want to see that happen, especially not in slow motion and on up close if we can get that.
Well, it's another 5 versus 3, but MIBR couldn't stick the landing on the previous one. Taco, we mentioned the ramp is very difficult to play. That's what he should do, though. He's got the information now, and he just wants to fall back. It's fine to grant them the ramp as long as you don't die. You need to control lower and slow them down as they actually focus towards the heaven position. Bombs there, Simple coming through, and Fur, that's a great spot. They'll have to make some sort of noise. They're going to get up towards the ladder, get the flash. They have to do something here. So he'll at least get 1 frag out of this, no problem at all. There's the first. Nicely positioned, no one giving anything away at this point in the 5 versus 2. Fur goes down, but there's actually no problem at all there because he knows exactly what the last 2 players are, and now it's up to the CTs just to play defensively.
Oh, it's a grid shot again. Phelps there picking up the kill on Flamey. It's very unfortunate for Zeus because they had already thrown the flashbang that was going to try and get the kill on Fur out there, and it was just a second late, so missed timing. Could have maybe had something like a 2-on-3 here instead of a 1 versus 4 for Simple. Never really want to count him out, but again, there's only 25 seconds as he picked up the first headshot there on Phelps. He does have the bomb, but he just can't check all of the corners, and Cold Zero will take him down. That's a really nice return to the game here for MIBR. A much needed round, I would say.
Just needed the Orgs.
Yeah.
That was the only problem. I'm interested to see whether they're going to be bringing out the Fallen AWP eventually. I'm sure they will. Just need to be a little bit more financially secure. Here's the replay. This is great coming in. So
oh, no,
this
Henry.
is a little bit unfortunate. So you do get slowed right down there as you get shot, and then Edward taken down. And Creators, not the end of the world, but still, it's MIBR tying things up at 3-3. The AWP in the hands of Simple this time. So this will be a much slower round, I would assume. They went for a fast approach outside of the previous. The smokes weren't ideal on the T side, but that wasn't really the issue. Simple just watching towards the garage now. From the silo position, seeing if he can open things up. There's no CTs in that position right now, but Fur is rotating towards main entrance. See if this could be enough. He's actually towards lower. So there we go, just making sure he can play that same position, Incendiary in hand. As soon as he spots one, drop it, fall back. And that's actually not the Fur playstyle at all. Usually he would be creeping up there, going for a kill, but he's being very disciplined the last few rounds.
Got him on a leash for now.
It seems so.
That's really interesting, isn't it? I can't even think of, is there any way to counter that guy holding a Molotov there? I mean, you just have to sort of accept the fact that you're going to be slowed down for 10 seconds.
I love this approach. Once you know they've got the outside control and you've actually blocked them off here, not only do they know you know, you also push them back towards upper. Some great play coming in from the CTs here, and a better shot from Simple. The wallbang comes in towards CT. Spawn! He can't find the second, however, and Electronic is left in a very difficult situation to be fair. And we'll drop Electronic towards the secret steps, and once again, a 4 versus 1 as Zeus tries to cause any sort of financial damage he can here. Doesn't look too good, though.
It's worth the attempt for sure, but Phelps with a great cleanup out there. I mean, I think that is, if you know, just asking about the org and how it plays in the game, exactly that yard position is where it can just do so much damage, and certainly see that right there. So back to very limited economy, at least on some of the players here for Navi. Gonna buy an MP5 on Zeus. Maybe we could see one of those fancy A rushes we sometimes see. They're dangerous to make when you know the other team has Molotovs, but
if you do them correctly, they're very dangerous.
Yeah.
They have some amazing flashbangs available to them. There's one flash just outside T-spawn we call the God Flash these days. It just jumps straight through the window and makes things very difficult with the CTs waiting towards upper. With this sort of buy, I completely agree with you. That's the sort of round you want to be presenting now. Try and get an upper execution going, maybe a rush, try and get a player down the vent. Per se, we'll see whether that happens as they take their first tactical timeouts. You can see the money not amazing on the T side there. And MP5, you don't really see too many of those purchases. Normally about 15 per event will come out. It's not a very popular weapon because the MP9, pound for pound, is just much better. It's cheaper, higher rate of fire, more mobility. It doesn't have a silencer, but the MP9 seems to be the favorite SMG right now.
When you got as few grenades as they have anyway here, Navi, you know, there are no fakes or anything. Like, once you put down the initial grenades, that's it. You're sort of committed to whatever it is you're doing, so we'll see how this plays out. This
is an outside fake now, so this is all about suggesting, like we in the pregame, they're just throwing the same smokes, flashbangs out there, trying to pull that player towards lower. That will be Fur, and he'll be holding that Incendiary, hopefully. That's what they're going for here, and this could be the upper execution we are looking for. You can see them posturing towards the lobby right now. There's the flashbang, and as we're getting it, maybe it will be coming through soon. We wanted to see this play. Will it be successful?
They're going to toss it right in the window. Phelps, not flashed yet. He can still see, and he's going to get that kill on Flamey to begin with, and now he's just waiting. Cold Zero right behind him. Good return kill for Simple. Jumping down, though, aggressive, and Phelps is going to be going down. Simple with a big double opening here, and he's going to be jumping back. He actually capped the height of his jump, and he's going to try and spray through. Electronic opening up now on Taco. This is a very confusing round for MIBR. Navi absolutely everywhere as Fallen takes down Simple, and now back lower. 2-on-2 here for the afterplant.
One flashbang available. Zeus and Electronic with the advantage here. There's an Incendiary for Fur available as Electronic holds the ramp. Is playing off each other. They're very well positioned here. This is looking lovely. The bomb not in a prime position, I'll say that much, as the Incendiary comes through towards the ramp, and there's going to be double team action here. Zeus with a nice frag, and great work in the end. Electronic will finish things off there. It's going to be 4-4 after losing the first kill. As we mentioned, that flashbang not actually super effective towards upper, but Simple certainly was. Amazing movement there. I can't stress enough. Like, he didn't look like he was panicked at all there. Jumps out of threat of danger and manages to get 2 very clean kills. And it's actually ruined MIBR here. You can see the shotguns coming out, the Deagles, as they have to just invest very lightly into this round.
if you sort of go back and you're playing your Phelps in that position, and Cold Sear is dead behind you, and you're playing on the hut, and he ended up going down to try and fight Simple. But if he had stayed on the hut, that could have also been a bad choice. I feel like I have a little bit of sympathy for him having to make the choice to either stay or go and be aggressive, and it just turns out Simple was ready for him.
So good. Always so consistent as well. You very rarely see Simple have a bad game. He might have a quiet half, but he always sticks to landing whatever happens, it seems. As Edward just hunting for that information. You can see back to business here. Slow and methodical once again, just trying to get that information. Essentially, at this point, they're trying to work out what are we up against? What have they got? Do they have Deagles? Do they have Scouts here? Just going to hold up and see if a CT makes a mistake. They will eventually. Just need to get a tiny bit of intel here as Electronic just holding up. You can see him discussing the options with the teammates here. Taco, pretty common position. Can steal away a kill. The objective here, get the 1D, drop right down, and hopefully make things uncomfortable for the terrorists on the other side, but this is very good from Navi. Outside smoke's coming in now. Just the one player out there. It's Electronic. He throws in Molotov, takes vision away from the CTs here, and maybe going back towards upper, but that's where the shotgun is positioned.
Yeah, one shotgun to change the outcome of the round. I mean, it's happened before. Now Taco, he's quite far away and made it a little bit harder for him to fall back if he wanted to. He's going to stick around and fight a little bit longer, but I would say another couple of shots and they would have been all over him. Now he's got a bit of backup here coming over from heaven or hell at least, and it's Cold Sear just deagling away. They can definitely hear that on Navi's side, a little bit worried that they're going to run into trouble. Oh, a lot of damage to follow up as well. Great double headshot, but Taco looking for more, hasn't even reloaded yet, and Simple will take him down. He was going for all three. Nothing going to come up the first shotgun there. Only 10 seconds left for Navi to try and get that plant. They will get it, but this might be it for MIBR. If they can turn this round in their favor, that's going to have a big outcome on this first half here. Cold Sear down and out of it. Edward, smart, and actually Simple going to assist with that one. So tough luck there. Taco, he gave it all.
He absolutely did. He almost got a third as well. The third player ran straight past him. There was an opportunity to really seal the round at that point, but not going to happen. MIBR make things a little bit tricky for Navi, but essentially it's going to be 5-4, and for the first time, Fallen brings out the AWP on the CT side. Usually positioned towards outer, but you can go towards heaven, and indeed the ramp room. Great job by Taco, but not quite enough, I'm afraid, as another 5 versus 3 slips out of their grasp. Will this be the tactical timeout for MIBR? I would say they probably need one at this point. They're changing the setup. They're bringing the AWP in. This would be a prime opportunity just to get a pause in there. Remember, it's a best of one. A lot of rides on the line here. The fact that this is a round-robin format, you're up against one of the favorites in the tournament as well. You want to be using these pauses and make sure that every setup is exactly the way you practiced.
Now that the adrenaline is really pumping here, Henry, sort of some memories are coming back to me in the middle of the game, and I feel like last time we saw them play on the CT side, MIBR, they actually were really big on lobby crunches. Like, they would have Taco push up aggressively, and sometimes they had, Cold Sear playing that hut position. We haven't seen much of that right now.
The problem is, until you get secure and you're feeling confident, it's difficult to make those sort of calls. It's difficult to justify them because you don't have a financial backing here. It's much safer to sort of play a classic setup here instead of one person saying, I'm going to push in towards lobby. That's probably not going to work out for you. Much better off just playing in the setup. And once you feel like you're in control and you have the momentum behind you and you can afford to take some risks, that's when we should see it. But yeah, absolutely right. MIBR just haven't got going in that department at all. But maybe this is a chance for change. As Fallen, like he said, bring out the sniper. Electronic looking to challenge with the Orc here. He's got a lovely smoke just set up there just to give him lots of intel. He's cognizant of the fact there could be a CT close range, but no one there. Just showing a bit of presence there with the shots. And it's going to be Fur, in fact, who's actually positioned with the Orc outside. And indeed, Fallen heads towards the ramp. So Taco shown himself there to be alone. And that's why Fallen goes in that position. He's hoping they try and bully Taco off there, and he's there with the AWP.
Yeah, just to change your weapons, facilitating a change of positions. Phelps again opening up out in that yard. Flamey going down. Now things got much worse here for Navi. Again, I think MIBR need to just win all the rest of the rounds right now. They need to go on a really long streak. Even 10-5, I'm not sure would be completely comfortable for them at the moment. Fur taking down Edward, so now they're looking really good. Surely Henry, they can't lose another 5 versus 3.
You think that, but the way Navi are playing right now, I wouldn't be surprised. Simple and Electronic are alive, and that's one dastardly duo, let me tell you. As they head towards lower right now, 50 seconds on the clock. Taco in a pretty classic position here. Doesn't need to overcommit, just needs to try and slow them down, steal a kill away, and just be a nuisance, essentially.
Just showing his head, and doesn't want to re-peek it. Don't really blame him. Electronic making it a 3 versus 4, and we still have about 35 seconds on the clock as they start to make their way down. Shooting through the door, and Simple's going to take down Taco. He just absolutely outplayed him, didn't he? 25 seconds, and now they're going to go for the bomb plant. Nobody there to stop it either, and just like that, it's a 3-on-3 as Fallen comes in, takes down So Simple again to take down for... Oh! Almost happened.
Let him in! What happened? He blocked himself. Did he close the door?
I'm not sure. Somebody's going to have to get the blame. I'm not sure if it was Electronic on the one side or not, but now it's a 1 versus 2.
He was away. It was done. Electronic brings it down to the 1v1, however. coldzera, no kit, no utility, jumps around the corner and is in desperation, and it's gone horribly wrong once again. A 5 versus 3. It all falls apart. We said Electronic and Simple were going to be a tough match for them, but I didn't expect it to go down in that sort of manner. Even a mistake made by Simple that they block each other, but still win the round.
I feel like that's the limit, isn't it? You know, you lose 1-5 versus 3, and you can maybe try and brush that off. Second 1.5, you know, it's getting harder to justify, isn't it?
The third comes in, and that's the, like, to be fair to coldzera, he knew he had no options there. The fact he had no kit, no utility, he had to just hope a bit of RNG would work in his favor, jumping around the corner, shooting. Not the most ideal approach, but like I said, not many options available to him. 6-4, another eco from MIBR. A shotgun comes in the hands of Fur once again. Faster control, Edward. A little bit dicey on that, but he does manage to at least stick the landing. And the one player in front of him, it looks like he might go down here to the USP, does get the kill. He will pay the price, so 14 HP. And at this point, if you're Navi, you don't need to overcommit. You've got a nice opening pick there. You've confirmed they are eco. You've got 1 minute 15 on the clock. CTs are going to react to this. And this is why Flamey's holding that really prime position right now. He knows the CTs have to go pushing for information. There's Taco removed. And this is a perfect round from Navi so far.
Yeah, I actually hate it when people play solo in lobby like Flamey is, but he found like a great position to try and limit his exposure. But normally I'm not a big fan of people being alone here on the CT side, but sorry, on the T side. But that's not bad at all.
Yeah, nice shot from Fur with a max 7 there. Phelps 4 HP. He's got the AK-47, however. 3 versus 2. Looks like he's going to save the AK in T-spawn. I think that's the correct approach considering his health. AK always beneficial. You might want to give that to Taco because he plays the ramp room and it actually makes that position a lot more viable for yourself. You have the AK in the positions he's been holding. You can actually go for a proper duel then. You can go for the one taps instead of being limited with the M4 and maybe be taken down. So I'd like to see it go in Taco's hands, but it might not necessarily.
Yeah, we'll find out soon enough. And for just hoping for some sort of exit kill with the max 7, that would obviously help out. Again, on the economy, even though we're kind of getting a little bit late into it. Oh, range with the deagle. Big opportunity. Could even follow it up here. Maybe he doesn't know it. Oh, yeah, long range. That was even a headshot. I never figured out how that works with the shotguns at that range, but apparently it does. So cleaning up a couple of kills towards the end. I'm not sure that's not much cause for celebration, is it? You know, it's not enough at this point.
When you're on the CT side of Nuke and you're 7-4 down, it's a hollow victory at best. You've saved a couple of weapons just to enable yourself to have a full buy here. As the match is paused once again, MIBR, the great start. They won the pistol, the second round follow-up as well, but Navi just look way too comfortable on the map right now, and it does not bode well at all. As we said, we know MIBR have a strong CT side on Nuke, as their T side that has looked a little bit lackluster in the past, as they, we'll see what they can bring together. Fallen, I assume has a weapon drop for him. Whether it'll be the sniper once again is yet to be seen, but the Augs are out, and that's where they found their initial success.
Henry, how come no aggressive pushes towards that red container from the CT side?
That's a good point. That's actually a very common play in the top teams these days. On the CT side of Nuke, you'll see Astralis, players like Glaive, for example, being an absolute nuisance up there.
Yeah.
Making sure he's on the T red almost. He's right beneath the silo and making things very uncomfortable. I'd like to see one of those plays come in. You can justify 2 rifles out there just to change the setup up, and we'll see if Fallen will be able to make this work. For the first time, the AWP goes outside. Remember, he went to the ramp before, and he'll be tested as well. Electronic making his way out there. Usual smokes coming through to allow himself to get positional control. And the objective here is to get Electronic towards the secret steps. We'll see if they're successful in their approach.
Certainly all setting it up, and Seuss coordinating the battle out here. You could see him just looking around to see if everyone was in position for the smokes, and they certainly were. So we're going to start to pour those in. Plenty of time on the clock. Actually, not going to go for the wall of smokes. Instead, just a single flashbang. I mean, they don't have many grenades, so I guess they want to try and save on them, but that is such a risky play to try and make your way past the whole yard with nothing really covering you. You know, it's just pre-fired by Electronic to try and get somebody off that corner. It's interesting. Nobody been found yet by Fallen. He's been sort of just covering one angle.
I feel like Fur is almost limiting himself. Like we discussed already, this doesn't suit his playstyle. He's not finding kills from these positions. I feel like maybe he's being a little bit too tentative at this point. I'd like to see him at least challenge every other round and maybe stop them getting towards Seeker, but Edward will open things up. That's Felt removed, and see if they can recover this one. Fallen in such a compromised position here. Almost nails a shot. That's his bread and butter usually, but a little bit too fast on the trigger. Edward will find another 5-on-3, this time in favor of Navi, as coldzera will be cowering in the corner. One kill should be everything he gets. Is simple somehow detects the threat towards Event, but does not look too happy about the situation, just waiting towards lower. As the bomb's planted, the round is absolutely guaranteed for Navi at this point.
Sometimes you wish you could go and ask the team directly, is this a question of first sort of saying, actually, I'm not really feeling the aggressive play style right now, or is it a team decision to say, listen, we need you to hold back and be a little bit more safe down here? Be fun to know exactly which route they're going for here. 5 in a row, as you could tell by their logo catching fire there for Navi. They're doing an excellent job. And I mean, if you're Fallen, you're not really meant to ever be in that position where you're actually not covering yard, you're just covering the silo, and you don't have anyone covering you that could stop them from getting close. It seems like the worst of all worlds.
Yeah, it's having almost no impact at all as AWP, and Fallen's trying to rectify that right now with the outside push. We wanted to see Anders, and finally, this is looking much better. The opening kill from Fallen. They have bought what they can. You can see SMGs, shotguns, deagles. They need to make these rounds work, and Fallen with the AWP gets that pick. Finally, a bit of confidence shown from the Brazilians. As the first aggressive move we've seen them make on Nuke so far. It's been such a defensive game from them. But they have a 5 versus 4, but that's not necessarily good news considering the way this game's gone for them. 3 5-on-3s have slipped away.
Yep, need a little bit more here. Good position once again. Taco wants to go for the repeat. That might, it's probably better to fall back at that point. But exactly the kind of play that we just saw, and Mike, that's so close. But that is the kind of play that I associate with Brazilian Counter-Strike, and that's what I want to see all the time, pretty much,
It's absolutely true. They've got a certain flair to their gameplay, and we're not seeing that so far, but that's a positive sign at least. Is Taco, no stranger to the deagle, will be trying to answer back here, but not going to be the case. He goes down, and that's the lower bomb site now completely compromised. Phelps just a shotgun, can't deny really anything at all. He's hoping players come towards the window, has to go to the USP. It works out. Simple was low, so at least they have the man advantage for now. That gives up his position, shotgun in hand, and now 19 HP. They're going to have to really get their skates on here because they have no utility to get this defuse going.
Yeah, it's all on this, isn't it? Flamey going to be denying the first entry. Fallen picking up one more kill. How do they make it in? One more for Fallen. Somehow picks up a triple in the round, but still not sure it's going to be enough here. 1 versus 1 at the end. coldzera versus Sousa needs to try to buy time. What a run. coldzera with the UMP, and I think he's going to have just enough time for it, even without the kit. It's going to be real close, but that is a real entry into the bomb site, and it comes down to the last second when you hear that tick.
It felt like Zeus had done enough there in the 1v1. He was just desperately trying to stay alive. I thought he had done it, but coldzera looked absolutely calm with the situation, manages to get the full defuse in. He saves the AWP, and they have a second bite of the cherry here. That round was absolutely massive. If they let that one go, I feel like this game is done. But now some signs of life here as we get into round number 14, the tail end of the first half, of course. AK's out, no problem for Cash whatsoever on the T side. We'll see the final AK purchase there. Simple just with a Glock. There's the AK. It took a little while to get there, but finally they are fully equipped. Fallen changing position once again, this time towards the main entrance. Starting to get into the groove of things now. Maybe it's not too late after all. A couple of kits available to them as Navi set up the outside smokes. Remember, they don't necessarily have to commit off these. You just want to be throwing them every single round, so it's difficult to tell exactly what you're doing. Sometimes you can drop the smokes and send 4 players down, sometimes 1 or 0, and go forward and up an execution. We'll see as Fur finally looks like he's got a bit of confidence here. Not just holding back with the incendiary, he's holding the secret steps and he's hunting the kills.
Yeah, really like seeing it. And again, it's Fallen to open up the round, so I really appreciate this. And I mean, he's going to get the kill, and he's going to be immediately completely transferred out of that position. It makes it so hard for the T side to know where they're going to have to look for that AWP. And there's the aggression you were talking about. Henry Fur going to be taking down Electronic. That's 3 on 5 now. Surely, Henry, not a third time. They can't possibly lose this one.
Well, time will tell. I don't want to say it's impossible, but we'll see. coldzera holds position, spots one towards the heart. No damage inflicted, but it gives up his spot. 40 seconds remain, and Simple alive. Anything can and will happen. He's waiting for the smoke to dissipate towards the squeaky door as Edward will almost essentially bait his teammates here. He wants them to show their move first, and he'll come in for the backstab here, but it looks like his teammates are dropping as Simple tries to recover the situation. It looks like MIBR have done it. They've got 2 rounds in a row.
It's looking very good. Edward going to pick off one, still just 17 seconds, and going through the smoke is so dangerous. One good headshot, great follow-up, but again, only 10 seconds left here, and he just doesn't know it. Cold Zero is right there, but again, you know.
He felt it for a second there.
Definitely getting worried.
Yeah, the fact that Simple got the double kill towards up and his player towards the hut as well. Maybe if he had 10 more seconds, he could have checked that position, but not going to be the case. Money's actually pretty low for Navi here in the final round, so there's the shot from Fallen. Last couple of rounds really coming to life, and Fur actually showing us what he's capable of towards the secret steps there. Phelps with a nice kill towards the vent. Fallen finally coming online here. They can get this last round. Certainly not a done deal for Navi, but they're still in a fantastic spot. The fact they win the half on the T side is excellent. 4 pistols, 1 AK, and Fur actually doing it, Anders. He just needed to get a few rounds under his belt. This is what we want to see. It's what we've come to expect from this young man. But Electronic's already made it down towards Secret, but maybe Fur is well aware of that and looking for a big play.
It's just listening inside of the smoke. It's going to disappear just at the perfect time. There's nobody to shoot Fur in the back either, so yeah, that was clinical, wasn't it? Phelps is going to be getting a kill as well. Simple finally picking off one player in return. Still a 2-on-3. Simple with the AWP and just 23 health, so there's really no room for error for him here.
He's just holding with the shotgun-style AWP right now, but out of the vents he goes, looking to focus on that lower bomb site. Now, how much CT presence is there as Taco is currently on the catwalk? Very common position, sitting in the corner. You can't be spotted from Decon, of course. No hold as Zeus tries to get some intel away. This all comes down to timing.
He can shoot away
for 1 second. That could be it, but yes, you're right. Could have gone for the wall bang. Not going to happen. And there we have it. 8-7. MIBR finally looking like a strong team towards the end there, Anders.
Definitely picked it up, and I mean, it turned out it was just back to the roots a little bit, trying to see if they can get a little bit more aggression outside, Fallen with some of those AWP shots, and overall just looked like they found a little bit of that spirit that we were lacking. Liked Phelps being aggressive, liked Fallen with the AWP. Wish we could have seen that earlier on.
Well, it wasn't too late, at least. Like, 7 rounds is certainly not ideal, but the fact it's still a competitive game, they won the pistol in the first half, they can do that in the second. It's a very punishing map. If you don't get a good start on the CD side, you don't get comfortable, you could definitely go down 5-0 to kick things off. So they do need the pistol here, absolutely. It is a best of one, but the fact the team actually looked like they're getting to the swing of things towards the end does bode well for them. It was looking like a disastrous game. The fact they're losing so many 5-on-3s, it does happen occasionally, but it crushes morale in these sort of games, especially when you know you're the underdog on this particular map. Navi in great form right now, and Simple is just styling on you in those key rounds as they discuss their options here. Hello, Anders.
Hello. How are you doing, Henry?
Should adjust my cable.
Well, listen, it's day one. We'll sort it out. We'll figure it all out.
I'm new here.
We've got the lights on as well now. Don't even worry.
What's been your favorite moment so far? I like the crater from Edward. That was pretty fun.
That was good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And he almost did it a second time. I think that aggressive round from Fallen, that was the kind of, I mean, I actually think Fallen is one of the most entertaining AWPers to watch in the world when he does that. So actually, anytime I'm watching Fallen not do that, I'm just sort of
A little bit sad?
Yeah, I sort of want to. I wish I could sort of push him to it. It's like, come on.
Absolutely. In this sort of matchup as well, you want to see the best out of everyone.
Yeah.
There's so much talent on the server right now. And yeah, I feel like Fallen, the fact he got those really important kills towards the end, he can still have impact on the T side. The problem is the AWP not as beneficial. It's not a map where the AWPers really kick off there. You saw Simple pick up the AWP, I think once, didn't really find any success with it, but the rifle spoke for itself, absolutely. And the pistol is really important here. We saw a very basic approach from Navi in the first half. They did 5 sets of Kevlar and rushed outside. I can't say I've seen many teams with that approach before. It makes sense because the CTs are assuming you go towards outsiders, you're going to smoke down there, and they won't really give much attention towards that position until the smokes and utilities been used. So they're trying to suggest that nothing's happening out here, then a big surprise attack towards the end.
I feel like in the pistol round, to start the whole game with, they were actually rushing yard, weren't they, from the T side?
Yeah.
And I feel like what they were doing is every time somebody would try and fight them, they would sort of all stack up and just try and Glock them at long range.
They fumbled it a little bit, right?
They fumbled a little bit.
Falling over each other, couldn't find the frags. Obviously, at range, the USP is always going to be king in that scenario. And I feel like once they got spotted, they didn't want to take those jewels at all. All they had to do was just stay on course towards the secret steps area. They didn't have the advantage yet. It felt like it kind of slowed them right down,
yeah.
Essentially lost in the round. But either way, they still managed to bounce back. In round number 3, AKs came out, and that's when their success have really started to mount. They looked excellent. They had a nice mixture of slow and fast gameplay. They knew when they were up against the ecos, the pistols coming through, they slowed it right down. They waited right back in the lobby, towards outside, not pushing anything. Get that one kill, and then calculating the situation and go together. And it looks like the second half is ready to go, Anders. I'm excited. Let's see what kind of buy we have here. One smoke, a flashbang, and a P250 for Cold Zera. He's got that god buy with the armor as well. So it's all about the range for him and trying to find the opening kill.
Yeah, I would love it if they tried to actually bait a fight out on that yard as well, because the CT players might sort of, be under the false illusion that they're going to have the range advantage, and then P250 could definitely do just as well. So that's going to be interesting. A lot of pressure here on the ramp. Oh my god, they're really quick through. They just ran right past, putting a lot of pressure here on the Navi side. So MIBR continuing where they left off. A lot more pressure, a lot more flair in their game right here as Zeus actually will pick up one, and just like that, it all crumbles. Just headshots raining in left and right here. 4 of them in a row, and a 5th one to cap it off with. That's a real mood killer, isn't it, Henry?
Yeah, those tight choke points towards the ramp, they can be a real doozy sometimes. They had excellent movement as they bounced out of that tight choke point at the ramp. It looked so good for MIBR there. They get full ramp control, but all of a sudden, 5 kills out of nowhere. And as you mentioned, all headshots as well. Very clinical stuff. A much needed round there from MIBR. And do they decide to force it in the second and get the Deagle armor out, or get the AKs in the third, like we saw from Navi? It looks like they'll go for the latter here. So that's going to guarantee double digits for the CIS squad. Electronic towards the ramp for now, but actually going to focus towards Secret. He's rotating right down there as Zeus with the prime weapon for the ramp room. In this sort of scenario, up against Glocks, no armor, he can farm a lot of cash if they come towards the spot.
Which always feels amazing, doesn't it?
It really does. If you know you're going to hold a position by ramp, they've got Glocks, nothing else. Oh, it's tempting. You want to push, you want to get stuck in, but you got to stay disciplined, Anders. And I know you struggle with that, but something we're going to work on this weekend.
Yeah, I would definitely struggle with it. Even more so if I was the captain of the team like Zeus is, and nobody could, second guess me, say it's all part of the team. Looks like he's going to get everything he wanted, even though he was playing patiently. Going to pick up 4 kills just like that.
No ace, unfortunately. Fur will be outside. He's going to deny absolute glory here for Zeus, but the final kill will come through any second now. There it is, another clean sweep. And this is much better for Navi. Remember when we went into the first half, went into this first gun round, and MIBR had what? 3 or 4 MP9s, I think it was, as scouts. So they've got a much healthier bio on the Navi side. They've got, 4 rifles, 2 of which are AUGs, 1 MP9. So they're in a much better spot than MIBR was in the same scenario. Here's Zeus really getting it done with the MP9. So great work by him. 4 kills picked up. Finishes things off there with the USP. Farms a massive amount of cash. He holds into the MP9, though. He's looking to the future. Yeah, he wants to make sure that his teammates are well equipped going forward. He'll throw the initial smoke and hold towards the ramp room. As Burr will swallow a grenade at the start. Doesn't take too much damage, just 26. Could have been a lot worse. And now we'll see what kind of approach MIBR presents in their C side. The first gun round for them here as they line up the outside smokes.
Nothing crazy coming out so far for the defense. Thought for a minute it looked like Zeus were about to push up, but he's actually sticking around. Simple, easily able to fall back and save him if too much pressure starts to happen. He's got that AUG, so could probably pick up a couple of people. They've made a lot of noise outside, but sort of feels like they might try and see if they could just try and crunch that A-bomb side. Yeah, that's going to be the smoke for heaven. And let's see if Fallen can try and actually get down Mini quick. No, he's going to go the other way, it seems. Now they're going to try and see if they can make their way through. Just a minute here on the clock as Fur picks up 1 kill, but this is looking really good for the offensive side. Phelps and Cold Zera picking up a kill each in return, and now they've got everything going for them. 4 versus 2. The bomb is going to be going down. What a great execute.
Yeah, that was really beautiful, actually. The fact the smokes were so on point, they had great trade potential as well. The timings on the flashbang enabled them to get out the squeaky door, and indeed the hut at the same time. No access for the CTs from main entrance. It was a really, really well done execution towards the upper bomb side. That's what we wanted to see from MIBR, and they've delivered here. 4 AKs up against the AUG of Electronic and Zeus's MP9. Remember, he's got loads of cash here, and probably can't win the round at this point, but if he can steal away a rifle, maybe get another frag and make things uncomfortable, that would be great. As he holds up now, just trying to see if anyone's still on the bomb side. Going to take a couple of players down with him, potentially. He can see the AK on the bomb side floor. He wants to ideally get out of the bomb side blast and then jump in to pick it up. So we'll see if that's even possible. In he goes. He's spotted the AK, like we said, and he gets the AUG instead. That's absolutely fine. So he actually saves the rifle instead of the SMG. They take 2 of those into the next round. They've got plenty of cash, and that's from the previous round. Remember, he got the 4K of the MP9. He can now drop an AUG for simple. So it definitely works out in terms of his planning for the future.
Part of me was hoping that Fallen was going to try and go for one of those really quick sort of mini rushes. I really enjoyed when people get up on the silo quick and they're in mini almost before the CTs even know what's going on.
Those are really cool. Those upper roof splits with 3 players going towards main entrance, they are a lot of fun. Speaking of fun, Simple, the AWP, going for aggressive plays is also quite exciting as well. He'll be holding up towards outside, focusing on the T boxes for now. You can see he can swing back towards Squeaky Door if required. This looks like an upper play though from the T's, at least right now. MIBR setting up some basic smokes, but no real presence there. Looks like it'll be a bit of a bait. So like we said, drop the same smoke, suggest there's a chance you go towards outside. But this won't work out because Simple has full vision outside. That essentially does nothing for them, almost nothing. Because that gap, he knows no one's crossed.
It's a level of control that we just didn't really see out of MIBR when they were playing on the CT side. I mean, Fallen had the AWP out in the yard a couple of times, but it never really felt like they had that kind of control. You see without the X-ray on that, Edward can't see anything through that smoke. Phelps is on the other side. What a standoff.
Yeah, that's fascinating that MIBR made that sort of mistake there. Those smokes was wasted. Edward will get the first frag though. Nice shot. He's been playing very well, I have to say. And we'll see now a 5 versus 4, and towards ramp they go. Zeus, not the primest of the positions. You can see it's going to be a little bit tricky for him. If he even gets one hit, it will be fine, and that's the kill he needed. Absolutely steps up and required. He's on for a third here, and it's in front of him. He absolutely had the chance. He gets the 4 versus 2 at least, and it's at the Fallen and Fur now to try and get that bomb down towards lower. Is it just a straight up open plant? He will go towards a silo. Flamey can open the door though, take him down, deny everything, and essentially win the round. Great stuff from Zeus there. MIBR with a little bit of a chaotic round there. A few mistakes made. Gave Simple all the information he needed, and they could stay strong in their positions. Didn't have to worry about lower at all because Simple has said there's no chance they're getting towards secret steps at all.
I really want to give a, sort of a warning or a bit of advice for any, aspiring up-and-coming pros watching the stream and looking at that play from Zeus. I want you to try and look at that round and just try and remove it from your memory. just actually try and forget about it if you can.
It wasn't the prettiest, I'll say that much. Like the fact he was in that position was actually an okay spot. There's the fact he started firing, then had to move and drop down into the most awkward position you can really imagine at ramp room. The fact he gets 2 kills, I don't think he can believe it himself. This was actually much more calculated. Edward waiting for that smoke to go down. And Edward, to be fair, he does a great job considering the circumstances.
I honestly feel like because he sort of got spotted up there to begin with, and then he stumbled off the box.
Yep.
I feel like MIBR must have been thinking, "There's no way that he's going to stick around after that." Like that, that was so clumsy. He must have fallen back.
Yeah.
Oh, he's still here.
It wasn't by design at all. But there's the initial kill. It's going to be an exchange though. Taco, great job, and Fallen with the P250 doesn't find the kill, but Phelps certainly does. 4 versus 3, much faster in their approach now. But Edward, prime spot to get a couple of kills here. Nails the first. Can he find anything more? Doesn't have to. It's Simple with the HE grenade, and down towards lower they go. The 2 versus 2. Fallen only with the P250 here. Cold Zero goes to the plant. It looks like it'll be a successful one, and Simple will have their rifles.
They're getting much smarter this round than you would expect here, MIBR. I mean, this is a lot of production for, having almost no equipment to start with, so that in itself is pretty exciting. Edward down low as well. Cold Zero and Fallen left. Definitely a scary duo to be up against. And MIBR fighting to get back in this game right now. This would be such a big round. Simple, not afraid to make a lot of noise. That smoke probably a little bit annoying to him. He's going to try and see if he could force the shot from somebody waiting inside. Flashbang is just absolutely perfect. Sets it up for the kill on Cold Zero. And now it's Fallen sneaking back around. The bomb is planted in his vision. He gets used. Only got a couple of seconds left. Opening up the door. He can't see anything inside. And oh no! 1 second too late as Navi picks up the round anyway. He had everything going. I mean, he had the lineup. Different weapon would have done it, surely.
A great play, just the minutiae there, the separating from victory and defeat. You can see he does everything so well. Every bullet hits. He couldn't have done anything more. And they still bring the fist bumps in. They know that was tantalizingly close. A little bit gutting. He doesn't get it, but still, job well done for Fallen. It's going to be 12-8. It certainly affects the finances of the CT side, and they'll have a full buy here, but they'll take a tactical timeout just to discuss their options. They've got an average of about 4K. You can see 3,500 on Cold Zero. Really not ideal scenes for them here as they'll throw over the AK.
Well, look at what it does, though, to the Navi economy. Winning around like that in a, with actually nobody surviving is that's really crushing. So if they can turn this around, MIBR, and win this next round, they might be able to roll that a little bit further.
The reason it's so crushing as well, because for winning a round by defuse, you only get $3,500 as your reward, right? So that's not enough by any stretch for a full CT buy. They obviously had residual cash from their previous victories, but a few compromises made. You can see Electronics got the MP9 here. They don't have a full array of utility, but it's pretty decent. This round will break them if they give it up, and we'll see if MIBR can at least get them on the ropes. A couple of Galils here. Far from ideal, as Fur will be looking for the first pick towards outside. They really need to get more outside control here. So far, not really been that exciting towards that part of the map, as Fur shows a little bit of presence there, but he is essentially alone. They have not used their smokes just yet. They've got 4 of those still up, and there's the second. But Edward, this is what we wanted to see from the Brazilians in the first half. He could actually push all the way to T-spawn now. And once again, they drop smokes outside, but do nothing with them. They've got really nothing out of this. Edward is confirmed outside completely clear. Hold your positions. No one has to rotate at all. Hold strong towards upper and ramp.
Yeah, even that smoke that Cold Zero put out that lands all the way over by the windows by Hell does nothing. They know that's just sort of a bit of a decoy. It might actually reinforce their belief that something else is going to happen. Grenade right at the feet of a couple of players. Not a bad start here for Zeus. A minute on the clock, and he's going to get traded pretty fast. So at least they have a bit of control here, but I think Navi know what's coming.
I think you're absolutely right. They'll have to head down towards lower here, and look who's waiting for them. It's Mr. Simple. Takes Sacco down, and he isn't done just yet by the looks of things. Does he want to push the smoke? Oh, he might not have to. Flamey arrives on the scene of the crime. Simple does come out in the end. 3 versus 2. 40 seconds remain. Fur and Fallen with all to play for. Fallen's got upper control of this stage, so still a few more twists and turns in this round yet.
If only he had the bomb, that would certainly be the ultimate scenario at the moment. How did they get the bomb planted in a 2v3 with this little time left? They can't really sort of fake it out much. They actually just have to go for it, and it looks like they've got enough map control to actually do that. That in itself is impressive, although now they're sort of locked in here. And Fur, I mean, they're going to be coming from every which angle. Tries to put out the grenade. Hard to say that he could have played that in a lot of different ways. Wouldn't say that it was really a requirement for Simple to rush through the
no, it
smoke.
Certainly wasn't, but that's the Simple way, Anders. I don't know why you're calling him out like that. He does what he wants. This is Simple server.
Yeah, I know.
Just play here. That's it.
You never feel comfortable questioning anything this map does, right?
You're putting yourself out there when you start saying, well, Simple really dropped the ball on that one.
Just saying, at my level of matchmaking, I certainly would have played that differently, Henry. That's really all I'm trying to point out.
13-8, MIBR will have enough for a bye once again. They pretty much have to go into this one. They've got enough for a Fallen AWP, but as you mentioned, not necessarily the best weapon to operate with on the T side of Nuke. This one is getting a little bit dangerous. I can definitely see the problems MIBR have on their T side of this map. The outside plays, we've seen it twice now where they've wasted smokes and not actually got anything from them.
Yeah, and those wasted smokes, I mean, it's one thing that Navi know, but MIBR might not even know that they're wasted. Like, they don't actually have that.
I don't think that they'll have to watch this demo back.
Yes.
Just watch and see, like, okay, we've dropped the ball, what, 2 or 3 times on the T side here. The fact that they get all the information they need from one player playing outside and our smokes having huge gaps in them, I feel like that's going to be pretty gut-wrenching to watch back and see how this one went down. But there's the smokes again. This time Fur making sure that nothing can be seen. Remember that gap towards outside again. I'm not sure if they've got as much control. Electronic, same situation. For now, he's saying there's nothing outside, but just one player there. Good flashbang, actually. It's going to push Fur right into the cubby hole as they go for an upper play here. Will this work out for them?
Good flash through the ceiling. Edward still can see a lot down here in him, and Simple are going to combine for a couple of kills. That is even the bomb dropped on the other side of the hut here, so that's going to be really tricky to recover, and there's 3 people defending that one position. That's not going to work out well.
No, it's really not. 4 versus 2, no utility and no control. The bomb is down. A desperate wallbang attempt there, and it's actually Fallen that takes the majority of the damage, down to just 2 HP. Fur is done for. He won't anticipate Electronic's positioning here. It's too strong. It's going to be 14 rounds on the board as Flamey confirms things here. MIBR needed more rounds on their CT side, I think. From what we've seen so far, they needed to win both pistols and have a really strong CT side to really stand a chance here. Navi just looked way too clinical.
Yeah, they've been looking excellent so far. The fact that Simple has got 24 kills and just 14 deaths is...
Yeah.
I mean, what do you do? He's only played 22 rounds. I mean, we're heading into the 23rd now, so...
They've got that great upper execution, though. We've only seen it once, right?
Yeah.
These defaults aren't working out. We haven't really seen a convincing bomb plan yet. We've had 1 2-on-2 situation that was really brought out of over-aggression from Navi. We need to just, I think when the rounds are going this badly and you're not really working together and it's all of compromised positions, I feel like executions and set pieces, that's what you need to be focusing on right now. Let's try and overwhelm that upper bomb site. Outside, when we're sending one player out there, is doing nothing for us. We're not tricking them at all. We're actually giving them free information with these plays and wasting our own utility. So that's what I want to see. I hope Zeus has kind of drove that point home. Let's focus on what was working. That execution, we've done it once. It was fantastic. They had no chance in it. Simple dropping that outside smoke, and you can see that's to block CT side incendiary to block the smokes outside. And this is looking good for an execution. Go throws the smoke towards the main entrance, but will they get anything more?
They're trying to see if they could flank around. I mean, they had that one position that Flamey was in, but as they tried to make the flank and the kill on him. They just got shut down from upper, and a little bit more wall banging coming through. Oh my god.
What's going on? How have they not got a single kill? It looked like the prime position there towards main entrance to get the trade at least, but this is round 15, no problem. Phelps, just a Galil, 5 versus 1, and they're just doubling down with the incendiaries, all the flashbangs, absolute hell for Phelps. He's smoked off as well. This is just absolutely done. There's nothing he can do here. The best case scenario, he picks up an AK, but down he goes. It's going to be match points for Navi and MIBR. They were brave to play this map, I have to say, and it's not worked out for them.
I think wasn't Nifty saying on the desk that he'd really like to see an Astralis and Navi finals. I mean, at the current pace for Navi, at least, that looks like it could be a really, really fun game for sure.
This has been anything but for the Brazilians, I'm afraid. Money is going to be an all-time low. They have to buy Galil's UMP, 1 AK-47. And is this the upper play once again? They've done the flashbang, just trying to bait out some utility by the looks of things. No one committing off that. Towards Squeaky they go, and that's the first kill picked up. Flamey with no vision, no right to find that first frag. And Edward, look at the confidence now. He's really feeling it. He's actually going towards the ramp room. That's a guaranteed frag. Taco will have no idea that this is coming. Not the cleanest, but they all count. And at this point, you want to fall back. You do not want to fight anymore. Let's just confirm this game done.
I don't know if there's anything you can do at this point. Simple, finding a frag outside there against Fur. I mean, it started off really well for Navi, but the finish here for them is just almost flawless, isn't it? Looking very good.
Yeah, this is absolutely done, I'm afraid. Phelps, coldzera, 1 smoke, 1 flash, UMP, Galil. Do I need to add any more variables in there, Anders? Do you think that does it?
I think it paints a great picture, Henry.
A grim picture for them, unfortunately. Phelps, a little ahead, we plucked off, and that's going to be coldzera. Left in a very compromised position. They now know exactly where he is. The bomb's down. They can even throw a few players at him just to try and close this one out quickly. You can hear the chat. I think that's maybe the GGs being exchanged at this point.
Preemptive GGs.
You don't like those ones. If you're in a clutch especially and they're typing the GGs out, you really don't like to see that. But a really, really beautiful way to kick up the tournament for Navi there. They lost the pistol to kick things off. But their T side, it looked like it was calculated. They had great executions, nice mixture of pace as well. And those key mistakes from MIBR really cost them quite a lot of the game.
Yeah, really, really not the best performance from MIBR early on, but Navi looking great. We're going to send you over to Stream C to catch up that games. Stay tuned.